caption for this. This show is so exciting, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. 2020, because of coronavirus, we have a unique opportunity to actually reach you in new creative ways. It's showing how we have to adapt. And the same way that coronavirus has forced us to adapt to the new ways of connecting and reaching others in this global pandemic is the same way that many politicians and our leaders are going to have to figure out how to adapt to the growing world, the changing world, and having fresh, new creative ideas to combat the new problems that we're having every single day. So I'm super excited to be a part of that. I'm super excited also to be able to host this never before done show. I want to give a big shout out to our production team via Rep My Block. I want to give a big shout out to all of you that are here listening. One Verse Mini as well, my management team. And, you know, we're going to have an amazing show tonight. Amazing show. We were working on a lot of things. We're working on getting you some very, very, very big special guests. But right now, we have some amazing special guests. So make sure you stay. And the thing that everybody, this is the second ever Paperboy Games, right? The thing that everyone says about the Paperboy Games, especially from the first one, there's the first one, was that, you know, when you watch it, you want to watch the whole thing because you want to see what politician is coming up next, what artist is coming up next, what Paperboy is going to say in between. Is there going to be any new, you know, something, some surprises coming. So we're bringing you that live television back to back aspect right here, broadcasting from New York City, the epicenter of the pandemic, and still fighting through. And today I had the opportunity to be in the streets of Brooklyn. I got to talk to families. I got to talk to young people, older people, all races, all genders. It was an amazing day. And one thing the one message that resonated with everyone was this: we're going to beat coronavirus. We are going to beat coronavirus. It doesn't matter what they said, why they said it, what the reason it is. We're going to beat coronavirus. Because we've been here too long. We fought too hard. It's to give up now. So I'm so excited to be here and yeah, to host this. While we're starting it off, let me give y'all a little something. To get hyped to. I'm gonna start it off hype.
That's what I wanted to call me. Get her.
I don't want to start it with that. We're gonna get it hype. Y'all ready?
RG. We made it.
Paperboy Games, Paperboy Games. Y'all already know it's the Paperboy Games. Hey. Paperboy Games, hey, we started live, we going live, hey, how paper, yeah, hey. Broadcasting live from Brooklyn, New York. Bronx, what up? Staten Island, what up? Queens, how's it going? Manhattan, what's good? Ha, paper, yeah. Paperboy Games, we're live. We are live. Hey, we made it.
We made it. We on the barrel, we made it. Paper. We on the barrel, we made it.
All right. I'm having a little too much fun. I brought the money out. I'm having a little too much fun. Paper, yeah. Okay. So I'm just starting it out. We're having the good energy, good vibes. The first ever Paperboy Games, and by first ever, I actually mean second. This is our second episode here. Paper. Yeah, I want to make sure y'all can see my chain above the banner. 2020, I know it's been trying. I know it's been crazy, but I want to remind you that we're going to beat coronavirus. If nobody told you yet today, let me be here to tell you, we're going to beat coronavirus, and we're going to beat it good. I'm super excited. I'm super motivated. We're live right now everywhere on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope, on Facebook, and we have the Paperboy Games coming up. That's right, the Paperboy Games. It's like a mix of the X Games and the Hunger Games, except with more love, more creativity, and we're bringing you a mix of music and politics right here. Leading up to the election here in New York, June 23rd. And I'm super excited. And I also want to announce we're going to be doing this every day, every single day, pretty much every day at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have plenty of time to catch it. And there will be June 23rd. And I'm actually watching the live there just to make sure what I'm saying is true. And it's true. So we're going. Again, big shout out to our production team. Thank you for everyone for helping. If you want to help volunteer on our show or
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. All right. Good evening, New York City, and or wherever you are viewing this video. My name is William Smith. I'm a lifelong resident of East Harlem, and I've been an advocate on the public service journey since I was 26 years old. First started out as a volunteer at the King Tower Senior Center. So that was my first introduction into service and what it means to advocate for your community. I see we have someone about to participate. Oh, I guess not. We have an empty chair. So when I think about service and we think about empty chairs, now this is in no way diminishing anyone's contribution in any political occupant. When I say political occupant, anyone who's in a political role right now. Everyone has had a contribution. Everyone has made a difference in the community, either with it being their voice or their sheer will to continue to serve. However, there's a big lack and there's a big gap that we see in our community, and that's confidence in our electorate. It's confidence in our government, but confidence in the political process, which is the most important. And why do I say that's the most important? It's the most important because it's the electioneering, the electoral process, the political process, or what some would call civic action, civic engagement, is lacking in our community. A lot of people fail to understand that it's part of our political leaders. Keyword, I said political leaders, not our elected officials, even though it's their responsibility as well. But it's the responsibility of our political representatives to not only keep us energized in the political process, but also to instill in us that fire to serve, that fire to make a difference through the electoral process. So that's why I'm running. I see a lack of fire in our community in terms of voting. I see a lack of interest in participating in the electoral process. While I applaud many of my members of my assembly district and in the county, in certain areas and pockets where they are There is a robust voting. However, there's still a lot more work to be done. When you go out there and you're getting signatures from voters, you realize that a lot of the people, they're not really well aware of the process of what it means to sign up a designating petition. They're not aware of the political positions. Now, some would say in this strong society that we call the United States of America, Americans, citizens, residents, immigrants would be well aware of that process and of the structure of government. However, they're not aware of it. But because they're not aware of it doesn't diminish the fact that they need to know. It adds more weight to the importance of this task. And that's empowering our people to understand the electoral process. Empowering them to understand that they can have a voice in the process and they can go about achieving incremental reform. So let's take that incremental step in voting for new leadership in our community, so that way we can show that there can be a new approach, a new tone, a whole different thought about the whole process of political participation in leveraging the electoral process to the benefit of our community. What are some of those benefits? For example, in the state party, a role I'm looking to represent East Harlem in the state party, a state committee member, male state committee member, because there's a female state committee member. It's important that the state party have on the top of its list of priorities that civic engagement, civic education, electoral activism be on the top of its platform, and it's not. Now, while there are many other issues of great importance to our community, we're dropping the ball. We're not taking a stand as a party. We've taken a stand on so many important issues to our community. But why is it the electoral process, the political process, understanding what it means to be a civically engaged citizen are not on the top of that list? And that needs to change. We need to get that on the top of the list. So for all of you who are viewing, you're a member of East Harlem, if you have friends who live in East Harlem, please encourage them to vote. Not just for me. Vote. Encourage them to vote. If they only are aware of one candidate that they are particular about supporting, go about taking a moment to educate them about the other candidates if you can. If you're aware of them. If you have a stand on a particular candidate, give them both sides. So that way they see that our political participants are balanced and well-versed in the political process, which will then instill in them the confidence to vote. And then that's how we get the process going. That's how we're able to achieve the change that we want to see. Another role is judicial delegate. That's another role that I've thought about participating in terms of this. I tried to get on the ballot in 2016, was unsuccessful. They were able to, the machine, as some would call it, were able to bump me off the ballot. And that's fine. But let me get the crux of why I ran. It was because I wanted to educate people about how we nominate our judges to get on the bench. Again, another step in terms of educating people about the civic process. The main reason why I decided to go on this journey, to embark on such a challenging task, on tackling such a challenging task, rather, is because it's something that's important. Understanding the state party and how it can take a stand, understand the judicial electoral process and how the political process nominates candidates to be on the ballot in the general election, become a judge, is important. You worried about being evicted, you want to know that the political servant whom you've elected in a primary will be putting the right candidates on the bench. You deserve to have that confidence. Every voter does. Even if you're not a voter and you're a citizen of the community, you deserve to have that confidence. But how do we go about doing that? We have to get some change. You have to get new leadership. And it's not meant for a new person to come in to hold the spot forever. This is meant to go about bringing about a new set of awareness to the community And so that way we can work on cultivating the next male and female state committee members. So that's the reason why I'm running. That's the reason why I am grateful to have the opportunity to talk about my candidacy amongst other issues and just be able to participate with my fellow change agents.
Thank you so much, William, for talking to us and sharing your platform. Unfortunately, Bill Perkins couldn't make it or did not accept the invitation, but we do appreciate you coming and sharing and also admonishing people to go out and vote and the importance of that, just being civically engaged. So thank you so much, and I appreciate that. And also best of luck to you in the upcoming days towards the election. And we hope to hear more from you and hopefully can have you both back again sometime soon.
I look forward to it, and I wish you the best of luck in your election and future endeavors, and look forward to working with you in various ways for us to change our community and make a difference.
Awesome. Love you so much. One love. Have a good one. Peace.
See you later.
Paper, yeah, one love.
Hi.
I'm so excited. This is going to be an amazing performance. You're looking very lovely as well. So
Thank you.
I'm super excited. Okay, well, please feel free to let the people know who you are and all that you do, and then go ahead, take it away. One love. Paper, yeah.
Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Gravity, Queen of Love and Hope, and I am a artist, kitten of all trades. And I have this song that I wrote in 2009 that is still pretty relevant today with all the pointing fingers and whose fault is it in the world today. So this song is called The Circle of Blame. Please enjoy. If he didn't say what he said, you wouldn't have done what you did. If he didn't see what he saw, you wouldn't have said what he said. The list goes on and on. How far back do you want to go? How many reasons do you need to make your stories flow? We humans can't accept a damn thing we've done. It's not your fault, I know it's everyone else's. It's just a game we play called the Circle of Blame. Though nothing was asked of us yet, we're already on the defense. And cunning as we try to be, it still doesn't make any sense. The words are meaningless and straying farther from the truth. How many ways are there to slip the shame from under you? We point the finger at whoever we choose to clear our names and to avoid the abuse. It's how we play the game called the Circle of Blame. Chaos merely rules the world. Don't bother to stop it. History repeats itself. What are we to do? The parents Our mighty Father gave the gift of free will, and to this day we are abusing it still. He planned our lives for us and gave us all our destinies. So if it's fated, everything is how it's gonna be. The bad news is we don't have any control. But hey, I guess that means that we're never wrong. And so we play the game called the Circle of Blame. The Circle of Blame. And yes, that was Circle of Blame. And Paperboy, I just wanted to let you know that I like to trick my cat to coming wherever I am, be like, hey, look, I have a piece of paper. And so I feel like lately I've just been like, paper, come here, there's paper. So yeah, I say that a lot to my cat. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Gravity, Queen of Love and Hope. You can find me on all the things, Instagram, Queen of Love and Hope, Facebook, Queen of Love and Hope, all the things. Yes, thank you for having me. And I don't know, should I play another thing? I don't know what's new. Am I still here? You can play until you come back.
And again, thank you again to the Queen of Love and Hope for that amazing performance. I love that we're bringing together our local politics and our awesome local musician and performance artists. This is what it's about. This is what makes New York an amazing place with so much to do and see. And we have an important election coming up. So I'm excited to hear about that. I really want to allow Cameron a chance to speak. And unfortunately, it seems as though Dan Quart did not accept our invitation and could not make it today. But I'm so excited to hear you speak, Cameron, and allow the people to hear what it is that you're working for. So without further ado, take it away. Paper, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paperboy. It's an honor to be on here. And I appreciate this opportunity. I think it's great to have conversations about how we can improve our communities, how we can make them a better place. And I think it's a shame that my opponent, unfortunately, is not on here, didn't want to be a part of this, because I think after this pandemic, it's really important to have these conversations about how to make our community better, what we can do to help people who are unemployed now, to help the small businesses that have gone under, the children who are now going to school, who are not actually physically going to school and have iPads from the city and have to, work with virtual education. You have a police department that's not really been enforcing social distancing fairly across racial lines, and a lot of, there needs to be some accountability in that regard. So there's so much that we can have a conversation about. And it's just a shame that my opponent won't have that conversation with me. I do want to start, though, by noting it's a special honor to be on the program of somebody who, as far as I can tell, is the only person who went to the Board of Elections, argued, and won. I mean, it's actually pretty incredulous. And, Paperboy made a great argument, nuanced, well thought out, and the Board of Elections changed their mind. So back from the political dead, which I think is incredibly impressive. And the whole Board of Elections system that you went through, Paperboy, that I went through, it is so geared to protect incumbents, so geared to protect the entrenched machine. It's so what's wrong with politics these days. And to have it going during a pandemic, where people were still thrown off the ballot for ridiculous infractions, mind you. And every sort of step in the way, the Board of Elections was there to try and stop people from having the ability to get on, from stopping the voters from having a choice. So I think it's great to be able to speak with you, someone who also was able to kind of overcome the obstacles. Now, my obstacle was not the Board of Elections, but similar to you, I kind of came back from the political dead. Just a few days ago, I was not on the ballot. And my opponent tried to throw me off because I voted while I was on campus in college. And I was one of many students who votes on campus every year from New York State, who leaves the state. And I had all my ties to New York State. I served jury duty here. I had my car here. I paid taxes here. I had my mail here. Just about every single tie to New York that you could imagine. And yet, my opponent claimed that because I voted on campus that I was not a New Yorker, that I was not eligible to run for the position, and tried to deprive the voters from a choice, the first time that they would have a choice since 2002, 18 years since there has been a primary in this district. And it's too important now in this time of the pandemic to be playing politics like that, to be playing entrenched machine politics, and to not actually let the voters choose to have a fair election. And that's why I'm grateful that the First Department Appellate Division a few days ago restored me to the ballot. We had a tremendous Zoom rally celebrating the fact that I'm back on the ballot. And I just think it's great for democracy. It's great for every single student who wants to participate, who wants to be a part of the political process. And it just shows you that that's not going to be tolerated. That sort of corrupt machine politician-esque behavior is not going to be tolerated, especially in the 73rd district. Now, given that I'm talking about that, I think it would be great if my opponent were here, if we could have a serious discussion about ethics reform. Ethics reform, something that I am really passionate about, and something that I think a lot of us, given how broken New York State's government is, would want to have a conversation about that. And yet he won't come here to have this conversation. We can talk about banning outside income. He takes 6 figures in outside income, and you have many legislators who are taking 6 figures in outside income. The legislature already pays a 6-figure salary. That is a full-time salary. No one should be double dipping like that, creating conflicts of interest. In his case, he represents insurance companies with a law firm. But a lot of these jobs, they create conflicts of interest as well. You had Dean Skelos, the Republican Senate Majority Leader, and Sheldon Silver, the ex-Assembly Speaker, the Democrat, both of them engaged in dubious practices in that regard. I think that we really need to clean that up. Cap outside income, as Congress has, at 15% of the salary. We could have campaign finance reform. We could have term limits. We could reform JCOPE. JCOPE, the Public Ethics Commission has no independent teeth, no kind of independent authority. And anytime it's really going to investigate any sort of wrongdoings in Albany, it is halted by the governor. It's halted by the speaker. It's halted by whoever. We need an independent ethics agency. And I think that it would be great if we could have a conversation about building that up, about, as I said, term limits, about campaign finance reform, about capping outside income, about also looking at DA campaign finance. My opponent is also running for district attorney at the same time and has taken a $35,000 contribution, multiple $25,000 contributions. I think we have a serious conversation. The position of district attorney should be the one that we would least want massive 5-figure donations coming in for, and yet that is the case. But beyond that, I do think that there are very important issues to talk about in the post-pandemic world, specifically in the recovery. I want to talk about the small businesses, which are the heart and soul of our community. I especially enjoy in my community growing up here all of the great small businesses. Paperboy, you're back on?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. We have to go to the next artist in a moment, but I do want to let you finish your last thought. So go for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll give you the shout out in person about the BOE.
Okay.
Folk hero for winning that. No, what I was saying was these small businesses, they represent dreams, the hard work, decades of work sometimes by individuals, and are such the social fabric of our community. And it's really unfortunate right now that we can't be having a discussion, a debate, whatever you want to call it, a forum about how we can save these small businesses. You know, whether it's canceling rent for a couple months, whether it's giving them better insurance, changing their business interruption insurance policies, lowering the commercial rent tax or property taxes. This is something, if all of our small businesses go down and only big businesses can survive in the city, we've lost a lot of our social fabric, and it's something I'm very scared about.
You know what? I thank you so much for your time and speaking with us. And I honestly appreciate you saying that, because you know, I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I know a lot of people. Small businesses are what make New York so unique. You know what I mean? That go get 'em type of attitude just makes New York so special. So we definitely got to protect our small businesses, and we have to make sure that there are more opportunities for these discussions to be had. So Cameron, I want to thank you again so much for speaking with us and giving your time and Dan Court couldn't make it, but again, the floor is always open. So if at a later date would like to do that, we'd love to have you both back if possible. And yeah, I'm excited to bring up our next artist to the stage. Coming, Ohene Cornelius. I'm super excited. It's going to be a dope. Oh, actually, I think they're doing comedy. So this will be a comedy stand-up routine, which is going to be amazing. I know you're all excited for that. Cameron, thank you so much again.
Thank you, Paperboy. It's an honor.
All right. Yo, what's goody, man? We had to get those technical difficulties up and popping. I feel like one of those like news reporters, the weatherman. I'm on the scene. I'm like, hello, yeah. I got a big booty shorty talking to me in my ear. Hello, yeah. What up, though, everybody? This is Ohene Cornelius. They say my name sounds like a British rapper. Hey, Ohene, but I'm not. I'm just a American dude. COVID-19. Am I right? Am I right? It's the commercial break we all needed from this reality show of a presidency, right? It's been crazy. COVID-19. I heard R. Kelly can only catch COVID-15. I found out that I hate doing dishes. Like, I love it because it's a necessity and I like my stuff clean, but I didn't know I hated doing dishes until I was doing dishes and my beautiful, beautiful girlfriend put a dish in the dishes while I was dishing. And I turned from like regular person to like Norman Bates. I was just like, no matter what, like, and I never knew that look that I was getting from my grandma. She always gave me this sweet, like almost mixed look of like, yeah, I'm sweet, but I'll murder you if you put another dish in here. So if you guys work in the restaurant industry, know there's a Spanish guy in the kitchen who will kill you if you put one more fucking dish in there right before he has to leave. I've been doing Yelp reviews. The quarantine is getting to me. I started doing Yelp reviews on my deliveries. If it's contactless and it's good, I comment and I'm like, hey man, they was really like rubby, touchy. They wasn't 6 feet, it was more like 5.5 feet, goddamn it. I didn't really like that. You know, on white women, they got Karens, black dudes, we got Marquises. Marquises are the kind of dudes that leave reviews on Yelp. I miss playing basketball. I miss playing basketball, man. Anybody else miss playing basketball? Ooh, oh, yo, you know what I mean? You remember you would get a nickname after like the kind of person you played like. They'd be like looking like Kobe, or they looking at you like Allen Iverson. They'd be looking at me like Yinka Dare. Was it Yinka Dare or Dare? I always fuck that joke up. I like basketball because you could fix your life while you're playing on the court. You're playing down the court, you're backing somebody down, you know what I mean? You're backing them down, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot this shot because it's time for me to shoot your shot. The dude is playing defense on you, you're like, yo man, you gotta shoot your shot because you never know what life gonna bring you. Nobody else had that experience? I got my stimulus check. I've been stimulated. I got my package stimulated. Make sure you stimulate the package. My man D Trump, D Titty, Yeah, I'm still not voting for you, D, but I appreciate the $1,200. Hope you got another one for me because things are starting to get slim out here. But yeah, did anybody else get the stimulus package and they just dropped it in your bank account? And for the past 12 years, I've had to fill out my taxes and each time put my goddamn routing number in there. And this whole time they've had my routing number. They know everything about me. And I still gotta put it. This is bullshit. They trying to check and see if I'm gonna lie to them. And that's what's fucked up. Because they know I am. Yes, I'm gonna lie to you, government. I just realized like this is gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. Be mad old. And I remember COVID when it was only 19. I wish COVID 45. And I realized that what all we have to do to solve this is like live life how your grandma tell you to live. Your grandma been giving you the secret because your grandma, my grandma at least, my grandma's 103 years old. My grandma lived through the last pandemic or epidemics. And they tell you what to do. They be like, don't be going over nobody's house. In the nighttime, you stay inside. You wash your hands. Don't be eating up everybody food, touching everything when you going out. Stop touching everything when you going out. Stay in the house. Cook. So, like, you know, if you wash your ass and live like how your grandma said you should live, then, you know, you get everything done. I don't know if my phone just cut off. Did my phone cut off? God damn it, technology. We're here. I'm Weatherman Johnson, and we're here having technical difficulties on set of doing weather. My last experience that I want to talk to you guys about, because this is a new medium and I like that. I'm doing Smokes and Jokes Comedy Festival in June, leading up to my birthday, June 22nd to the 28th. So we're going to be digital and physical, because I heard by then New York's supposed to be opening up for small events again, June 13th, maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully, if anything, it'll be digital. But your boy, Ohene, your masterful second funniest comedian in the world, I bagged a shorty the other day. I bagged a shorty and she had a mask on. I had my mask on too. The game is different now. You got to have different game now. If you can't bag a shorty with your mask on and her with her mask on, do you really have game? I was like, yo, shorty, I could tell by the curves on your mask, your ass is fat. Shorty, how your breath smell? Well, you know, you can smell it right now. Yo, shorty, you got a mask like your mama. Damn. Mama be standing right next to her like, thank you. I appreciate you. Yo, that is my time, man. I'm Ohene. They call me Ohene Cornelius. You can go online. You can go to my website, ohenecornelius.com. I'm on Instagram. I also make music. I throw dice. I travel a lot. Sometimes I like to travel and throw dice. Sometimes the exchange rate don't work. I was telling my mans like, yo, you know what I mean? Hey, you ever seen $58 worth of yen? Well, that's this right here. And they never want to do the exchange rate in their mind. You know what I mean? They too hood for that. My boy's too hood, man. He's so gangster. He a blood. My boy's so much of a blood. He won't even invest in cryptocurrency. Come on, man. I got to do, my boy, he a Crip. He got shot. I was like, man, you're going to need a blood transfusion. He was like, give me some of that plasma. Yo, go on my website. I'm Ohene Cornelius. Go on Instagram, YouTube, Ohene Cornelius. I just dropped a project, a rap album called Lenox Avenue. If you call it rap, I'm not sure. I'm having a good time on the internet. You can come check me out. I'm about to be dropping more and more videos. Shout out holla to Tyrone, Theo, and Paperboy the Prince, the future congressman of the 18th district of, I don't know, wherever you're going to be congressman at. You shout me a holler, man. Make some change out here in the world, man. You got any change? Yo, what bum's going to do? What bum's going to do? A bum asked me for $1 the other day. I was like, piss
Ohene
y'all.
Cornelius for that
Touch.
comedy. Ha, paper. Yeah, I love the comedy. I love that we, again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I love that we have a chance to actually bring together our artists, our people that are in the community here, and engaging with us on an entertainment way, and then those who are public servants and working in the to help actually serve the public and fight for us and make us aware of the issues that are going on. So this is the Paperboy Games right now. If you're just tuning in, what's going on is we have some artists performing, doing performance art, singing, rapping. We had some piano playing, we had some dancing, and then we're also having our politicians speak to us about. We have an election coming up, June 23rd. We have an election coming up here in New York, and I encourage all of you to get out and vote. Also, if you're worried about the situation with coronavirus, thinking about, hey, how easy is that going to be for me to vote? There is the absentee ballot. So you can go to New York NYC absentee, I believe it's .com or .org. The ticker is going across the screen. It will put the ticker back up so you can know exactly where to go. But there we go. We got it. NYCabsentee.com to get your absentee ballot. Get that. Make sure you register to vote. Do that before June 14th so you can vote in this election. I'm super excited. We have more commentary from from a super special race going on actually in my backyard here in Bushwick. And without further ado, we have Andy Marte here, and we actually have, unfortunately, their opponent, Julia Salazar, did not accept or is not here, but we're so thankful that you've come on and share with the people, the voters, what it is you're fighting for, what it is you're working on, and just letting them get to know you. So without further ado, take it away. One love. Have paper, yeah.
Thank you, Paperboy. I appreciate you having me on, and I think it's very honorable that you're running for office also as an artist, as someone who's looking to represent probably the largest artist community in the state, if not the country. Having someone from Bushwick running for elected office, bringing attention to the issues of the artist community, I truly appreciate that. I've been involved in Bushwick politics and in Brooklyn politics for, I would say, about half of my life now. Always involved in community activities, from helping senior citizens out to helping tenants in NYCHA, or public housing developments. So running for office was a natural next step. The coronavirus COVID-19 process has kind of made this a completely different kind of campaign. And I have a mantra that, when things get a little bit chaotic and you get lost, you go back to your roots. And my roots were helping out our community, helping out our seniors and our NYCHA, as I mentioned, our NYCHA developments. And so for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we have pretty much suspended our campaigning, our traditional campaigning, and we've refocused our efforts on delivering meals to senior citizens and to individuals that are low income and are vulnerable for the coronavirus. Our biggest fight this time around has been ensuring that tenants of one of the NYCHA developments, our community at 303 Vernon Avenue in Bed-Stuy, they haven't had gas in over probably at this point 6 weeks now, since the virus really started heating up. And we brought some attention to that. Vernon has been getting at least 75 meals a day from our campaign team. And we urge any individuals that are listening, that are involved in the political field, to continue to fight for the Vernon tenants. Unfortunately, my opponent knows who I am, and I don't have to sit here and defend myself, nor the things that I've been doing. But anyone that understands politics knows that once you start getting negative, you're getting desperate. And so I urge my opponent to show up to debates, to show up to places like your platform, Paperboy, to speak to her community. You know, she fights for or claims to fight for the loft and artist community, but when individuals like you are offering to give her the platform to do so, she's shying away. You know, if you want to throw punches on Twitter and throw punches on Facebook, you know, let's come face to face and let's set the record clear, not only about the work you claim to do, but who I am and what I claim to want to do. You know, it's the only way individuals can clear up our record is for us to do it face to face. And the only way we can do it face to face now is virtually. So I thank you. I thank Theo for putting this together, for giving our campaign the opportunity to talk about what our campaign has been doing. So thank you. I think I have a couple more minutes to talk. I will talk about what my campaign platform is. Over the last couple of, before the campaign, the coronavirus started, we came up with a 5-point plan that included supporting our seniors, empowering our neighbors, preserving affordable housing, upholding family values, promoting healthy living.
What happened to Julio Pabon?
Oh, word, I'm on here? I'm live?
Paper, yeah. It's our
I just had to see myself on the IG Live.
Yeah, yes, we're live right now. We both
I'm so
got
familiar with all these different apps and such. And
yes,
the properties that they carry.
Well, before we get to that, I wanna thank you for coming on.
Thank you, kind
and to our politicians that just spoke with, there's an important race going on that we just had. So we were just talking about that's happening in Bushwick, actually. So I'm so glad that we had one of the representatives, one of the candidates from that race speaking. Unfortunately, the other one couldn't make it. And so on the show, when one of the candidates doesn't make it or doesn't accept, we put an empty chair. So this is the Paperboy Games, kind of like X Games, kind of like the Hunger Games. And, you know, this is an opportunity to actually allow people to hear what are our politicians doing during coronavirus. How are you working for it? Are you too big, too busy to come and spend 5 minutes speaking to the constituents? Because our local artists have the time, our local business owners have the time, so do our local politicians. So thank you so much to the candidates that do. Stank Nitty, you already told me that the verse you're doing is a little political, so I'm super excited to hear this and see what you got for us right now. It's the Paperboy Games.
So
High paper. Yeah, we got Stank Nitty. Let's go.
Beautiful. First of all, thank you to Paperboy Prince of the Suburbs, and thank you to everybody involved. Much love and respect. All right, so I'm gonna jump right into this. Smokable hemp, aka CBD, invalidates probable cause on the grounds of smelling weed in NC and probably NYC. At the time they seized me and what they say was mine but never found in my reach. Hearsay from hayseeds that traffic human beings, maritime pirates so far from sea, enforcing policy of thieves, fuck a PIG. You can't define my freedom or I wouldn't be free. Tip of a pointed finger, evil lingers and eats. Your belief in evil motivates you to deceive. Do you see the irony? I'm your lesson in humility. I am not meat. I will not bleed. At least that I'll allow you to see. All you got on me, fruit of a poison tree. All you got on me, fruit of a poison tree. Fuck a PIG. Your evidence irrelevant, search defective, brain dead detectives never get a breath on record. Fuck your investigation. Disrespect your collective and the fake states it represents at its foundation. This is no nation. Death to all related organizations. Hate to every face convinced of your greatness. Whether it's MAGA mental patients or Bernie voting secret racists. Erase it. My compatriots, create free trade, running every interstate, independent city-states, rigged game like the DNC. Fuck a PIG. All you got on me. Fruit of a poison tree. Fuck a PIG. And that's all I got. Stank Nitty. STANK_NITTY. That's Instagram, everywhere else. YouTube, Facebook. You're going to find Stank Nitty, spelled STANKNITTY. You can hit me up, stanknittyfamily@gmail.com. Stanknitty.com. In fact, just paid my bill yesterday. I love y'all. Much love to Paperboy. Everything that he's trying to do, any politician that aligns with him, this is a friend of mine, man. I know what he's all about, man. He's all about feeding the people, giving us what we need, and telling us maybe what we don't want to hear, you know? And that's what I'm all about, too. So much love to y'all. Much love to him. Much love to everybody.
To say it without giving too much away, but I'm super excited we're able to do this. And, you know, right now we live in a time where there's a lot more ways that we can connect with the people. You know, there's a lot more ways that we can actually let them know who's running, what the dates are that the elections are happening, what their elected officials agree on and disagree on. And so I'm so excited that we actually have the opportunity to, you know, have you on and at least have someone from this race, because I know we have a lot of people from your area that want to hear about what's going on, what people are working on, because now more than ever, the people need, you know, to know that their elected officials and the candidates are actually fighting for them and know the problems that they're going through, right?
Absolutely.
So, but this isn't my time to talk, it's yours. So without further ado, I'm so glad that we have Julio here, who's going to introduce himself and all the stuff that he's working on and fighting for. Unfortunately, the other candidates from Congressional District 15 either did not accept or aren't here. And again, the floor is open to them if they would ever like to in the future. But as of now, they didn't. So again, thank you so much for accepting and coming on and actually sharing with us what you're working on. So without further ado, Julio, one love. Paper, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having this presentation. I think that anytime that we have any information that can go out to the community is very important. And I want to congratulate you guys for doing what you're doing, because there are others who have a lot more resources. Like recently, there was a forum and they invited all the candidates and they all hurried to get there because they had reputable organizations, supposedly like City Limits and others supporting it, but they didn't invite us. And the reason they invite us is because apparently we don't make the threshold of the amount of money that's raised. Check that out. So for progressives who are always fighting against having money in politics, they contradict themselves at the local level when they don't invite a guy like me because I didn't have the money. All I said, listen, all you got to do is just Google me. And if you think I haven't done anything, you'd be amazed at what I've always done, because I've always believed you didn't have to be elected to be effective. So living in the South Bronx since 1954, if you thought that I'd lived here all this time and I survived without doing nothing, then you're smoking something that's way beyond the regular weed, because you have to always get involved where you live in order to survive. And the stuff that I've done throughout has been, I mean, to me, that's been something that I had to do because I live here. My son got arrested 12 years ago on a bullshit charge of a nickel bag that he didn't have in his pocket. And because of that, he spent a day in jail. And then because of that, he spent 2.5 years going for a trial that he didn't have to go to because he didn't have anything. And when I found that out, I realized, what? That's why our prisons are full of people who are innocent and for no reason at all. So you know what we did? We started an organization called Discovery for Justice, because there was a law in New York City that said that when you get arrested, you have to you don't have evidence at time of arraignment. So they arrest you, they accuse you of something, you go before the judge the next day, but the district attorney does not have to give evidence. They can wait until time of trial. But what's the problem? How long does it take to go to trial in New York City? Oh my God, 2.5 years, 3 years. Look what happened to Khalif Browder for a backpack, which he didn't steal. 3 years in prison, raped, abused, beat up, solitary confinement to protect him. He comes out and he commits suicide. And that's what was happening to thousands of kids in our community. We started an organization. It took us 11 years of lobbying, going to meetings, going to rallies, doing everything we did. And guess what? We changed the law. And that's only one of the many things that I've been involved in. Well, discovery of a justice, that was one of my highlights because of something that happened to my son. I didn't do that because I was running for office. I did that because it's something we needed to do. Just the same way I organized PTAs when my children were in school in the South Bronx. PTAs that really meant something, not PTAs that have coffee and cake and not do anything, but also block associations where I live now, why we have speed bumps, why we have security here all the time that we don't pay for, but the city pays for because we're constantly on their case, is because of the South Bronx Community Association that I started, because of the fact that when I finally bought a house, after being in poverty all my life, I buy a house, I want to be able to protect it. There was no block association, no homeowners association here. So I started that organization. How about respect and justice for Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico gets hit with the hurricane and everybody is having fundraisers. But I remember going to fundraisers for Puerto Rico, for years. Every time there's a hurricane, there's a fundraiser. And I said, there got to be something better to do. And we found out there's a law called the Jones Act, that everything that comes into Puerto Rico, which is an island, which has to import almost 87% of everything that it has, including about 80-something% of the food, it comes from the United States and elsewhere, but everything has to go through Jacksonville, Florida, which means that a ship cannot go from one country or one island to Puerto Rico. It has to go to Jacksonville, Florida, unload, reload, and then go to Puerto Rico. And you know who pays for that? The Puerto Rican people. That's why you go to Puerto Rico and you spend 15 to 25% more on the regular stuff that you buy here, less, because that's the Jones Act. And I said, well, let's get involved in that. Let's do that. I'm a leftist. I've been for pro-independence. I believe in all that. But you know what? None of that has made a change. So when we started this, we said, look, I don't care if you're pro-statehood. I don't care if you're pro-independence. I don't care if you're pro keeping things the way they are as a colony. But if you believe that the Jones Act is something that is wrong and should be taken out and exempted from, joined us. Well, you know what? We did. And as a result, for the last 3 years, people are now beginning to talk about the Jones Act. Before, all you heard was about Puerto Rico, the debt, the junta, the Koffman,
from the Congressional District 15. Unfortunately, the other candidate in that race either did not respond or didn't accept our invitation to come on and speak. But thank you to Julio for speaking to us. And I found out that another organization didn't allow him to speak because he didn't reach a donor threshold, or that's what I was told, or something like that. So that to me is completely unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable. Before I want to bring the next artist on, and I'm super excited to have them, I want to say that here at the Paperboy Game, when we talk about getting money out of politics, giving power back to the people, we would never, ever, ever say that, oh, one person can't debate another because they don't reach a donor threshold, because they don't have it raise a certain amount of money. Like these are the problems that we are trying to get out of politics. These candidates and these representatives claim that they want to get money out of politics, but then will not accept debates. They will accept debates with people that are excluded because of donor thresholds. And that just to me is that's not honorable. Speaking on some of the stuff that was said earlier, that's not honorable. Thank you so much again to all of our candidates that have come on and spoken. I just had to say that this isn't just about money. This is about what you're willing to put on the line for the people. This is about being of the people, right? So, all right, let me get off my soapbox real quick and let's get into the artists. I'm super excited. Ryan O'Neal, I heard a little bit backstage. You've been playing, you've been warming up. I know you've also dropped some music recently, so
True.
super excited to have you on here. Without further ado, Paper, yeah, Ryan O'Neal, what's up? Let's go.
Thank you so much, man. It's an honor to be on here. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I just dropped 2 new projects: The Chronic with Chinch 33 in my man in Hamburg. It's just a EP we made during the quarantine. It's the quarantine chronic, because what else are you gonna do when you're locked at home? And another song titled Grown Up Rap. But today I want to do a little like a love song. So here we go. She's lukewarm like the sun in December, the kind of love that you remember, sitting on the beach while the wind comes blowing from the east and the sun's still sitting at its peak. I gave a lot more than I would on the regular, acted like we were together, something new for me. We were meant to be. I guess it wasn't simple as it seems. Sometimes she's cold and she's got me so fucked up. We've done this before, yeah. It's getting so old. Oh no, you a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. Oh no, you're a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. It's always good in the beginning, ain't it? Nothing but love, yeah, there's no complaining. Never thought that it would be this way, yeah. I used to tell my mama that you were my favorite. I don't think you ever knew me. It's like you're looking right through me, and I ain't even crying, not trying to get you back no more. After this, we done for sure. Sometimes she's cold, and she's got me so fucked up. We've done this before, yeah. It's getting so old. Oh no, you a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. Oh no, you a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. If you love me, then tell me so. If you don't, then let me go. To cope, it helps to know. But we're just going back and forth. Make up to break up, round and round like a merry-go. You so hot and cold, what's the roast? You like a song of ice and fire, I admire your presence most. Ain't no better roses. Not knowing where your toe is, where you stand. Am I your man? Am I just for the moment? You know what? It's not you, it's me. I'm the one that lets it happen. Every time that you come back and how I'm supposed to grow if I can't even grow a pair. Damn, you fine as fuck, but you don't even care. You can leave me here and I'm gonna be alright. Make sure you keep your distance, texting exes just ain't right, cause I can't fight these urges. Gotta purge my phone instead I wake up early on a Thursday laying next to you in bed again. Oh no, you a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. Oh no, you a pro. You're playing with my heart, girl, you just don't know. Oh no, you're a pro. You play with my heart, girl, you just don't know. Thank you all so very, very much. That's just don't know. Again, I'm Ryan O'Neal. You can find me Ryan O'Neal Music on all the social media sites. I'm also an early childhood educator. I teach kindergarten. I've been teaching early childhood for like 12, 15 years now. So any parents out there need some help and you're at home homeschooling your kids, reach out. Thank you again, Paperboy. And yeah, I'll just play this riff until you come back. Last night was just fun. Still got a face full of makeup. Feel it's time to run. I'll just keep playing till you come back. All the while you're sleeping, you're dreaming with regret. Fun, it is fleeting, like you leaving his bed, yeah. Sunday morning stiletto, and down right off the church, no. Go up to the ghetto, now you feel like they hurt. Oh, what a pity. Your hair is a mess, yeah. I ain't saying you ain't pretty, but you wearing last night's dress. Am I still on? Flying high, you saw the night died, and the sun came to life. I'll ask you no questions, so don't tell me no lie. But I can see your eyes clear. Sunday mornings to let go. You know you don't know the church. Go up to the ghetto. Now you feel like they hurt. No need to be ashamed, baby, we all play the game. Living no regrets, our generation is to blame. Baby, I'm glad I met you, but I wanna let you know that I see you. I hope that you see me too. Sit the pot to the kettle. It's getting really hot in here.
Paper, yeah.
Nice. Good timing.
Awesome. One love. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you, man. Sorry about the backlight. I was trying to get a good angle, but it just didn't really work.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. What's important is that it felt good and it sounded good. You know what I mean? And I definitely felt that, and it sounded good. So it did that. Thank you so much also for coming on. Appreciate it. We're gonna have plenty more. Okay, thank you again. This has been the Paperboy Games. I'm so excited to do this for you all. And again, my name is Paperboy Prince. I'm fighting for all of you. We're fighting to spread love. We're fighting for universal basic income. We're fighting for healthcare for all. And most importantly, we're fighting to bring real change, real energy, real love back into this, back into the politics. I'm so, and you see, we're trying to do things in a different way. We're getting politicians together. We're getting artists together. We're bringing the people together. We're bringing the community together. We're bridging the gap. We are bridging the gap right now. And I'm not saying that to say that we're so amazing. I'm saying that to say that we couldn't do that without you. So I want to give you a standing O. I know I'm sitting down, but if I stood up, I'd be out of frame. So I'm giving you all a standing ovation. Thank you all so much for making the Paperboy Games a success. We're the #1 political show. My production team just let us know we're the #1 political show right now in NYC local politics and in artistry ever to do this. So I appreciate you all so much. Paper, yeah, it's our time.